So I just kind of found out about these last week. I don't know a ton about them. So if you could just kind of, I don't know, walk us through a little bit of how it gets hooked up and kind of your experience with
Yeah, he just wants
um,
to walk him through it.
kind of getting it up there and installed and
Okay, so getting the four-wheeler installed. Okay, so um,
Let me.
obviously it's up, ready to roll. You unstrap it and everything like that. There's a spring lever here.
Why don't we just go ahead and do it?
Just do it? Okay.
Just do it.
So first things first, unstrap it. Pretty simple stuff. I just went ahead and used the little hooks on the inside of the bed and then hooked it on to the hitch on the back. It wraps around the wheels, and the wheels got a little bit of give into them, so it's kind of crushing, not crushing, but squeezing the tire against the tailgate, which is good. And I also put it a little bit higher with that like temperature level, so it's also putting downward force on it too. That worked out pretty well. And then in the video, we talked about in front, like hooking it up in the front. It was nice because I could actually get in the bed of the truck up by the cab to actually secure it down. So that was nice. We mentioned that in the video. But then once that's done, spring-loaded guys on the side. What I've done, so I just kind of like pull it out and twist it to the side so it doesn't fall in that hole. And then when I get close to the hole, it needs to go into it, rotate it, and then pull it, and then it snaps in. Because I do that just because when it's, you pull it out, and if you leave it in that hole, it's not gonna. It just sounds really bad. It's just metal on metal, and just, So that's why I do that.
So you're talking about this pin here, right?
Yeah. So this pin here. So I pull it out.
Hang on. There you go.
I pull it out and rotate it around while I slide it, because if you don't, you're gonna get that clunk clunk. Well, over time, the tip of this kind of wears down because it has powder coated finish, and then once it gets to the bare metal, it screeches like crazy, and it's not something you want to hear. So that's the solution for that. So that's that. So once all that's in, everything's strapped down, it's pretty much ready to rip. I've learned to be kind of gentle with it when you come off at first. Throttle control, really. Down. Like that. Notice how the suspension in the back sags. So this truck is lifted. It has a little bit of extra beef on the back suspension, so it's not completely stock. But as you can see, when I pull it back up, it'll kind of sag and it kind of lifts up that front end. So we mentioned to people that they might want to get some extra beefy suspension to kind of help with that.
Especially with half-ton truck, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll see. Well, I mean, once you pull it off, it basically stays like this until you're done riding, and then it's just pretty much set up, ready to rip. Loading it on is just easy, and honestly feels solid. I said that in the video. It's solid. I mean, I wasn't really too sketched out about it, so I definitely tried to address that. But I feel pretty good going up on here. But I do recommend if you have a low gear, put it in the low gear just because this thing wants to move. It's a 570, so it really wants to go in the high gear, and it kind of makes it a little bit less smooth. So even if you do go a little bit over, you just, pretty much let go of the brake, and it kind of just falls back in. But, I mean, I have no brakes on. It is it's in a gear, so the wheels would move. But I mean, I was testing it to see if it would actually roll off
better
of it,
over here.
but it won't. I mean, it really, really. I'm tugging on it, so it's not going to roll over or anything. That's what the brake. So I put down the parking brake, put it in park. So now front wheels are locked down. Less weight on the front wheels, but they're not going to roll. And then the back wheels, it's in gear. I mean, it's in park, so they're not going to roll much at all. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we have
So
two different settings.
does Mad-Ramps give you a recommendation for how to secure the four-wheeler once it's on here like this?
I didn't see anything, but I mean, I told them that the best way for me was just to use these little tow hooks on the back, wrap it around the tire, and then go right here. It's putting force going that way. And then the next strap we did up front, looped it around, which is also pulling it that way.
So you put a strap in the front of the truck?
Yeah, so the nice thing
So
about
you
it
use
is,
the strap up here.
I mean, I can actually jump up here. Like, I used to haul my four-wheeler around just in the bed of my truck, but it was like, it filled up the whole entire bed. Yeah. But with this, and we mentioned this
See
too.
if I do that. And see what I'm looking
look, and this is literally half the bed. You get half the bed on a short bed, but if it's a long bed, like a 6.5 footer, I mean, you're obviously getting a little bit more with that too. So.
Yeah, and plenty of room if you had a regular toolbox.
Yes.
Ian's got this tonneau cover with the toolbox that comes with it, the BAK, and it plenty of room.
Yeah, so the basic length of a toolbox is less than what you see here usually. So, I mean, even if you have a toolbox, you still have walk-in room, like plenty of it. So that's kind of cool. And obviously, with this tonneau cover, if you have this specific tonneau cover, this is not a drivable position. So this is going to allow you to, and I can't see out of the back at all.
Yeah, it is. It's got these.
So this is a drivable position?
Yeah, you do this.
Well,
Ian doesn't have
the cover says it is, but you're not really supposed to drive with your rear window blocked.
I would very highly recommend not, because you can't really even see the four-wheeler behind you, really, like at all.
Yeah, if you have something like that in the back of your truck, you should definitely make sure that you can see through the window.
Yeah,
That's why you need a camera. And
ooh, that is true. You could do a camera here, but
yeah.
Again, I just don't like this. I don't like driving
300 hours.
But,
all right. So what's this ramp run?
About 800. I mean, it's
1200.
Yeah,
1200.
Yeah, I was checking before the meeting.
So how does it actually install, though? Is it attached to the frame under there?
Just straight into the hitch.
Just straight into the hitch.
And all you need is a hitch and
it's hitch mounted. Okay.
So I mentioned that you might want to get a converter because it does come with all the wiring you need. But, yeah, you will need a 4-pole for it. So I mentioned that as well. I mentioned you need a hitch.
So the 4-pole runs, I guess this is a tail light?
Oh, that is a running light. So that's only on when it's at night.
I don't know where my hand is.
So this little guy is only a running light. And then the long strips.
There's strips underneath there.
Down here, blinkers, brake lights.
Blinkers and brakes.
I did not check, actually, to see if they lit up white when I was backing up. They didn't. Just red.
Oh, why don't you go run through the lights real quick?
Okay.
So how does this secure?
So
once you pull this in, it kind of wedges itself between here, this plate, and the bumper bar here.
Oh yeah, let's do that real quick.
Yeah, let's go over that. So we have two different settings. So this is the pivot bar. They call it the pivot bar because that's where the ramp pivots around, and has a little coating too. So you don't have to worry about the steel or the powder coated finish like getting scraped up and then it'll rust. Because this is all steel. The only thing aluminum is this. So that's the pivot bar. Obviously, this is just the normal bar with the lights on it. And back there, that's the bumper bar or bumper guard, wherever you want to call it. And so that's going to protect the bumper. So we got first position. We got 2 holes. So first one, that's the screeching noise I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is off-road position. Okay, it adds a little bit more length to the back, but you get more clearance. But you see how down here it bumps up onto that little bumper bar. So, like, basically call it a bumper bar because it's protecting your rear bumper from anything from happening. So that's that. And then you can also, for on-road stuff, obviously a lot less clearance, but a lot less length added to the back. So that's all that. They have a little peg here, so it's not going to go any farther than that, which is nice. In total, when they're all the way out like this pretty much when they're folded down. 88.5 inches is your length. We talked about how this truck has got bigger tires on it and it's somewhat lifted. It's kind of like a leveling kit type deal. Not too aggressive, but it wasn't too steep. So we mentioned that to the people who got, bigger trucks and stuff. The biggest ramps we sell are 90 inches. So these are 1.5 inches short. So that's kind of nice.
Okay.
Run through the lights.
Yeah. Push the other side in, maybe. Then we'll stand behind it here.
First things first is a running light. See that little dot in the middle?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, so that's on.
And the light's underneath too. I guess I need to get down lower for you to see.
Yeah, you can see.
He's up there talking about something.
Left blinker.
All right.
Right blinker.
Yeah.
Running light off. We tested him in the dark. Well, kind of in the dark, just in the bay. But then when it was really, really bright outside up on the hill, we turned him on. You can see him really, really well. So
Yeah, you can see them better than you can see his actual truck taillights because he's got them gray covers over.
I mean, the nice thing is too, like you're not really. I mean, you can still see the taillights of the truck. All in all, we talked about how obviously for the off-roaders, you have the option to have the off-road setting, but then also
You don't need a flag because you've got this out at the back, farthest back part of the thing when you're towing it.
exactly no flag. You don't need a flag, which is nice, and you just don't need a trailer. I mean, we mentioned if you guys just bought a side-by-side or a four-wheeler, you're probably tired of spending money, so you don't want to go ahead and go grab a trailer, get it all set up, and then you got to go to the DMV. No one likes the DMV, so we mentioned that. And then also, like for the off-road guys, I mean, the one video that I watched of this, these people just go out with these massive four-wheelers and just go all around town doing all those things, and they're all off-road. So obviously, a trailer's not as capable off-road as this, and it adds a lot of length. So jackknifing is an issue. So I would definitely say this is something I would use. I tried to relay it and make sure that they knew that I didn't think it was sketchy, and I would actually use it because after using it, I'm content.
Is there anything about it you don't
You feel-
like?
No, not really.
I always
Okay.
make them feel sketchy. Sketchy man.
What's that,
Sketchy man.
Mike?
Is there anything about it that you didn't like?
You had mentioned it was heavy.
Yeah.
In and out of the hitch on its own. It's a little bit difficult.
Ian did mention it was heavy. That's true. But I mean, I would love to see it tilt. It's like you back it off. You're done for the day, but you don't want to just have it sticking out that much. Because in a parking lot, you probably wouldn't want to keep this on here.
Yeah, but
If
you
it's
got to
big
have
enough.
this structure right here.
That's what I'm saying. It might affect our
Center.
weight. I mean, I really don't have any complaints on it. I mean, if your truck can handle it, I mean, I wasn't expecting the suspension to sag this bad. But all in all, I mean, it's a solution, that's for sure. One issue that Ian ran into, he had a long bed truck, put this on the long bed truck, and then he got a crew cab Ranger. And what happened is the crew cab Ranger is long. The wheelbase is too long to where it starts pivoting before the back wheels are on the ramp. So
it pivots before the back wheels are on this black part, right?
before the black wheels are on the aluminum part of this carrier. So we have pictures. Ian took pictures, so we're gonna have on the website. Basically, what he did was when he was driving up, his front wheel came past the pivot bar, which started to pivot it, and his back wheel wasn't on this part yet, so it went actually up and hit
that
the bottom
wedges
end
him
of
into the tailgate, so
Yeah.
he can't go up onto the truck.
Yeah. So I mean, there could be a solution for that, but it would be at the expense of your ratchet straps. Have them down and then ratchet strap it to your hitch like you usually do. But then when you go up, it won't want to sit down because it'd be putting all that stress in your ratchet strap. You got to go down there and undo it. So it's definitely not for those longer rangers, that's for sure.
And they don't have any actual application information, right? Like they haven't, do they say it's been tested on everything, or they're just like, fits truck?
Right.
Pretty much
Fits
just
truck.
fits truck.
Yeah. They actually, from what I read when I was looking at it, they actually say that it's universal. As long as your four-wheeler fit in the bed of your truck, you can use it. But the only thing you see on their side is those razor type shorter, they're not the big Ranger crew and
Because they're
stuff like that.
assuming that's why you would need this solution, I imagine.
Yeah, the big Ranger crew, the guys aren't really taking them to go run all over the woods and play in mud with. They're using those for work.
All in all, it's Adam approved. I'd use it. But hopefully I gave the neighbors enough information so they're not just, sketched out about it. Because, I told them, like, it's not you don't always see four-wheelers like this, but it's definitely nothing you need to be afraid of. Because it's solid. I don't even have this thing strapped down. Like, it's solid. You got suspension travel on the actual four-wheeler itself. Like,
That's in there, yeah.
like it's not coming off at all.
Yeah.
Really,
That's the one thing I had mentioned to you, Adam, yesterday, that a lot of what I saw in the forums were that people were kind of questioning how secure it was because the back half of it is hanging out of your truck. So
did you hang on it like on video?
No, we can though.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah.
I would say that it's on there, man. You
Yeah.
hang
Yeah.
on it.
Even if it's not
And
strapped
then-
down, I'm gonna be able to steal it.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot. That's a lot.
All right. Let's get his workout now.
I think it's pretty cool. Pretty
Cool.
cool.
Pretty neat.
And it's really neat. It's really neat. Anything else, guys?
I think that's it for me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Alrighty. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.